It's about to get real deadly up in here, because it's the class trial time. That, if you survive past that horrible ass intro, you probably survived the class trial. Oh. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. And soon enough...
Welcome!
Is everybody here? Do you want to go to the class trial? We don't want to go.
Wait!
Hey jerk, hold it right there. Oh yeah, Kazumi.
Monomi's such a dumb child. Hey!
My brain works just fine. Nah, I don't.
Hey!
Monokuma, what'd you do with Nekomaru? Is he dead? I see. So you come to avenge him.
Yes!
Avenge? Sounds like he died. Sounds like you say, oops.
Anyway...
Anyways, since Monokuma is unfortunately unavailable today, I just say he's absent.
Bye-bye!
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Hey!
Did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekoma is dead. He's just trying to piss us off. It worked, apparently.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens, yeah, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Hey, and Nekomaru will live. You're so excited about that.
How about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What do you yearn
What
for?
are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Don't tell me Nekomaru did it.
I'm gonna do it!
Let's hurry up and get this over with, unless Nekomaru was killed, I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Let's fucking go.
We stepped into the escalator and sent into the gaping maw of Monokuma. That's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. Well, that's a bit depressing. When everyone was inside Monokuma Rock. I don't know why I have to cause a seismic earthquake every time you wanted to take us to jail. The elevator began its steep descent as usual. Very nice. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. We're getting there. And when it descended as far as it can go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so.
Light poured through the other side of Odin. The boundaries of the darkness.
And I walked into that place. What's new? Oh my. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Two people got killed at the same time and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
So Nekomaru's not participating. If he's alive, you should invite him.
No!
Why bother?
It's... Well now.
Now then, let's begin.
Yahoo!
Yeah, I know the class trial. Let's fucking do this. And so the curtain to the third class trial was about to open. Ibuki Moriya, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Yeah, and they created an ocean of just suffering. No pain, just suffering. Hijo Sajoni, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you never knew she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. The person who killed those two is among us. Among us! I definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake. Let's stop the video right here because, I I'm joking. It's only been 5 minutes. For our friend's sake. For Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. And so, the curtains to the third-class trial is about to open. This life-threatening trial building of hope and despair has begun. Of course I'd like to save my progress. Set my skills. Oh, I got more points. The time limit doesn't increase even if you suit. Any other points? Nope. Finish preparations. Trial. All rise, motherfuckers.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
You're very loud right now.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides.
Okay,
who cares about this boring
exactly.
explanation? Let's get on with it already.
I finally agree with you on something.
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
It's kind of like Byakuya in the first game.
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Nice.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Thank you, since I'm the best.
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened.
Very abruptly.
Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder. Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Nothing.
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel. Why the motel? Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
Did Mikan kill him? Kill him? Kill the both of them? It's not unthinkable.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital.
You would have the disease. But I can't see why you would do it. I mean, if you had the disease, which isn't confirmed, I can't see why you would do it, but you did move. I don't know.
And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him.
Various ways?
I know, yeah,
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hiyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
No, that's not what I meant.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
And now I am going to fuck it all up.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Knew it! You decided to fuck it all up. Huh?
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw that, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
I shouldn't keep skipping.
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Fuck you, we need to tie you back up.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
And just as Kazuki said, Nagito's the kind of guy who would just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained this to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Motel room key, surveillance camera unit. I don't know.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
I know this. I know this.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's...
Oh, you
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all,
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because
Did Hajime kill both...
the fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is
Shit,
Hajime's fault.
fuck you. I didn't see the movie, so it don't
Hajime's
matter.
testimony.
Hajime's... Then the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't
Yeah,
think I can...
lie.
After all,
You a
Why would
dumbass.
Hajime-
That's how you
Obviously,
been
Did
killed.
Hajime...
The fact that the bodies were imitating means it probably
you
is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clear.
If Hajime's...
I don't
then the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all,
Stop
Why
trying to
would
get me
Hajime-
Well,
killed.
obviously,
Did Hajime kill both...
the fact that the bodies were imitating...
You
that's
asshole,
wrong.
you little shit. I was the only one who didn't watch the movie.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
And it only cost me $1.5 million.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie?
hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Exactly.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Trying to get us killed.
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway. Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, Let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
I don't know.
If Ibuki committed suicide,
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
Honestly, it felt like 5
I
minutes.
couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
Oh, the love birds. It's more like one bird loves it, the other one's pretty oblivious, but still, what irony.
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
Yeah, his alibi is that he's dying.
Me too!
Hey, why are you talking like, huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
I don't know how a person could have got out there.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside a music venue. Hiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it? Metal room key. The glob, it relates
The
more.
killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door.
Sticks.
By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Though that's making yourself, that person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside.
The glue, maybe? Okay,
No,
the
that's
glue
wrong.
works. The glue works. Fuck, it's glue. Glue to you.
Wait a second. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
Wasn't rubber at all. It's not a gummy.
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too.
Cause I found it and I'm totally a gamer.
It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
You are going to get cancer.
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
Glue-based cancer.
I didn't know glue was edible.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly.
I don't know how the drumstick would get there, though.
But if you just stick them together with glue, that doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
We're saying that you're a dumbass.
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose?
Smart motherfucker.
Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
Yeah, stop doing that.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
That's a bad idea.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh,
What
unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
Yeah.
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
Trash. Also, it's part of a bigger piece of paper. Yeah, I know what it is. No! 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 Not Higman's Gambit! Wallpaper! That's an M. I don't need so many R's, you know. Oh, wait. W. A. L. Wallpaper, motherfucker. But we need more L's. Take this L. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that either. There we go. I need ease. No! Just let it happen. Where's it now? There we go, that was fast.
I got it!
Got it, motherfucker.
That scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
Don't know really how that
In the
correlates,
music
but...
venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so,
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper, see? It fits perfectly.
You don't have the entire wallpaper with you.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper...
Yeah, I know what it is. Connected to some appearance. I'm assuming she was wrapped up in it. Alright, let's give this a try. No! Stop it! Stop making me do these dumbass mini games! I'm not playing Sonic Adventure. Do we have to do this shit? I'm sorry. What does this look like? I'm not fighting no special stage. I don't need no chaos emeralds. I'm solving mysteries, not doing sick parkour jumps. It was hidden, I assume. Makes more sense. This is still stupid. The wallpaper. It's obvious, otherwise you wouldn't be talking about the wallpaper. Still stupid. You didn't need 5 million mini-games. You just need some fun puzzles. Question 3. They covered the pillar. That sounds actually like a good idea. I made it! I got the Chaos Emerald!
It's all coming together!
Yeah, it all is. I like the game design, but whatever.
I got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
You know what I also get? No, that's... They can go on longer.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
If their invisibility.
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar.
Aha!
So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there.
Makes sense.
However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
Smart, smart, smart.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
I literally can't argue with that.
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
I'm assuming before.
Good point. And on that note,
We gotta leave off this episode here.
No.
it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
I knew it! There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated two victims is because they they mix up the killing order.
See!
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
Makes sense.
A valid line of reasoning.
But why would they want to hide the facts?
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that,
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
Asshole.
What a jerk!
Exactly.
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Gamer versus hamster owner.
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How right. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Flip-flops. If this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Blood. Yeah, blood on the souls.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yes, there was a sign.
I agree with that.
It's awesome.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Exactly.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate
Fuck,
the
I
power
knew
of
you
the
would do
evil
this.
eye.
Yeah,
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
I listened to
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. However, the time for conviction...
Yeah, I know how this goes. Let's do a melee combat, I guess.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about. Did you see a nice night, man?
Was that a protest? Yeah, I've seen it.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene.
There we go.
There was no blood on the
There
floor.
was indeed,
Allow me to cut
motherfucker.
through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
I know you aren't very familiarized with the concept of cleaning after yourself, but unfortunately this guy is.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
Confirm me what I said earlier. Because I'm
Even
smart.
if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right?
Right.
Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
Good, the dumbass knows his place.
Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
I'm a save now. Well, not save. I'm a stop. Anyway, thanks for watching. This ought to be interesting. This ought to be interesting. Bye.